Shalom Israel, Shalom, Shalom, Brother Naquam, watching for Israel coming back at you with these precepts and another cold cut, giving, of course, our honor and glory to Yahweh by Shema Mashiach or Malak Yahushai. Bear with me. And the topic of this cold cut is Walking to the Third Heaven. All right, now this is the third installment of the series I've been doing, going into life after death. With the first video, we went into just going into burial practices and the different customs of how you are supposed to deal with the Israelite body after his fell asleep or gave up the ghost or things of that nature, dealing with the sepulchres and the different mausoleums and dealing with the incense and the myrrh and the wrapping up the body with grave clothes. And we went into that. In the second video, we kind of talked on the resurrection, right? Going into life after death and the true definition between life and death. Again, shalom to everybody tuning in, Judah the King, and everybody on the live stream. Unique with Springs, shalom. Awaken Zion 07, shalom. Barakar Tawab, that's Allah. So we're gonna get right into it. This is Walking to the Third Heaven. Now you have three heavens, right? You technically got four heavens, if you will, because you have the rulership of men. You have the firmament, you have the waters above the firmament, which is the second heaven, and then you have the third heaven where the Most High dwells at. All right, so we're going to go and show you that about these different heavens. Then we're going to show you about the spirit world as it goes up to the third heaven. All right, Shalom, Tanika Edwards, Charles Smith, the real cold one, right? Shalom, shalom. It's early out there in Cali, 6:44. 9:44 out here in Baltimore, East Coast. All right. Shalom, Hanan, Yasha Allah. All right, it's Nation Helper. So let's go to Isaiah chapter 34 and 5. Let's start off with that. All right. Isaiah chapter 34 and verse 5. Because again, the world teaches you that there's just one big pearly gate. You know what I'm saying? And you have an old so-called white man there. And they show you that in movies. They kind of condition you, and that they put that vibration out there from the beginning when you were a child, man. Right? They got these cartoons and these animated movies and like Tom and Jerry, or I remember All Dogs Go to Heaven, and they always show somebody when after they die, they go up an escalator. They always go up an escalator. It's a long golden escalator, and then it's a bright light in between the clouds. But where's the escalator found that in the Bible? I don't read the Bible plenty of times. I haven't seen, but look, the Most High sent Abraham and Isaac and Jacob, and they went up the escalator. It's not in there. And they also tell you about halos and wings. And we're going to touch on the origin of all those things, man. Right? So Isaiah 34 and 5. For behold, for my sword shall be bathed in heaven. Behold, it shall come down upon Idumea and upon the people of my curse to judgment. So the Most High just said that his sword shall be bathed in heaven. Now, does that literally means the Most High is up there on his throne, and he take out his sword and put inside a little bathtub in heaven and say, "Gotta clean my sword. So it's kind of dirty. Let's get that little dirt off." No. What does it mean the Most High sword is going to be bathed in heaven? All right. It means that he's going to be destroying these nations. He's going to be soaking his sword in the blood of the wicked, like you soak something in the bathtub. But it says heaven right here. Now, the heaven that it's talking about is telling you, right, in that same verse, right? Isaiah chapter 34 and 5, for my sword shall be bathed in heaven. Behold, it shall come down upon Idumea and upon the people of my curse to judgment, because it's coming down upon the Edomites. They're the ones that have heaven right now, right? They're ruling heaven. This is their kingdom, right? This is their rulership. This is their estate. When you have a kingdom, you're on high, you're exalted, and you have power and authority to do what you will and when you want to do it. So by default, this is by the so-called white man's kingdom. Doesn't he run the global economy? Doesn't he set the standard on religion? Isn't he the so-called God of this world? Right? Don't when he say move, you move out the way. Can't he see everything you doing? His cameras, he tracking your GPS system. You know, you leave the damn Walmart, you get a notification on your phone. Hey, you forgot something in Walmart. Well, what the hell? How you know I forgot something in Walmart? Or how did you like this location? Rate this. How do you know? Because they be knowing these things, man. Let me bring this up real quick in Ezekiel 28 and 3. So this is the so-called white man's heaven, right? That's the first heaven we're going to go into. And the other nations, man, they kind of have a role in this too, man. This is a joint heaven shared by Esau, and he gives it to whomsoever he will to take part of his heaven if you bow down and get down with his philosophies, accept his mark in your forehead on your hand, or you worship the beast. You have the name of the beast. If you have allegiance to this man's system, then you can receive the same benefits that he does within his heaven. Ezekiel chapter 28, and I'm gonna start at 1, Salakia. Ezekiel chapter 28 and 1. And then one more Shalom to Eric Smith, Yahweh the Gabar, Diamond Ruiz. Anybody else that didn't shout out yet? Sung Undumbat, Hebrew of Hebrews, 2nd Ezra 6:54 through 59, Kamar Wooten, Most High Servant in Spirit and Truth. Shalom, shalom. All right, so this is Ezekiel chapter 28 and 1. The word of the Lord came again unto me, saying, Son of man, say unto the prince of Tyrus, Thus said the Lord God, because thine heart is lifted up, and thou hast said, I am a God. I sit in the seat of God, in the midst of the seas, yet thou art a man and not God, though thou set thine heart as the heart of God. So it's telling you right now, it says Prince of Tyrus. Now, in the ancient times, you had rulership of Tyre and Zidon who had exalted themselves, but we understand that these things are twofold, right? Let's go real quick to Job chapter 11 and 6. All right, Job chapter 11 and 6, just to show you that these things are twofold. And that he will show thee the secrets of wisdom, that they are double meaning two. The secrets of wisdom are double, they're twofold, that they are double to that which is. Know therefore that the Most High exacteth of thee less than thine iniquity deserved. And that's a good part too, because the Most High says that you deserve more punishment, but I'm gonna have mercy on you. So if you think you're going through hell, the Lord said you kind of deserve more, man. But I'm gonna show favor to you, right? But the overall point I want in that verse is that you have twofold, sometimes threefold, sevenfold scriptures, man. And you got to be able to kind of pull these layers back like an onion and see what they're saying, right? So when it says Prince of Tyrus, we know in the spirit that it's talking about the so-called white man, because he has the same attributes through these various precepts. Like when you read Isaiah chapter 14, it says, I will ascend into the height of heaven. I will be like the Most High. 2 Thessalonians, the 2nd chapter, it speaks about the so-called white man being in the seat of God, you know. So these are all going into the wicked, man. Right? It says, Thus said the Lord God, because thine heart is lifted up, meaning they proud. And thou hast said, I am a God. And if you are a God, you have to have a throne. You have to have heaven. Or you have to have some form of paradise or rulership that you dwell in. No God, unless you some God of these other nations that dwell amongst men. No God dwells amongst men and walking around and, hey, bumping into man in traffic. No, these gods have heavens and rulerships. So the first heaven, or the heaven that we're addressing now, is the rulership of the so-called white man. All right? Because he sets himself up as being God. And this is his heaven right here, man. Doesn't he see everything you do? Don't you go to him? When an average so-called Black, Hispanic, or Native American, or anybody inhabiting of the earth, when they kind of sick, they get that little cough and, they got these physical ailments, they go seek the so-called white man. Now, in time past, they would seek the Most High. They would inquire of a prophet, or they would just pray to the Most High, and then they would have the apothecary set up who would pray to the Most High that his works were profitable for your illness, and then you would be healed by the Most High. Now, everybody they go to the so-called white man. You have been conditioned on the first sign of your sickness to pick up your phone and call your local physician and say, look, I need a doctor's appointment. Because you think the so-called white man can heal you of everything, man. You trust in his Tylenol, his Advils, his Robitussin, his open heart surgery, right? Because you think that he's God. Now, you may not say, I got to go to God to go get healed, but your actions are showing that you think that this man can heal you of everything. Oh, hold on. Now the Most High says, see, now that I am he. And Deuteronomy 32 and 39. I kill, I make alive. I wound and I heal. Now there's any that can deliver out of my hand. Right? Amen. When you want to learn, you don't go to the Most High. When the last time Somebody said, I want to learn. I want to get this knowledge. And they said, let me go. Look, I'm going to go on a fast. I'm going to pray to the Most High. They don't do that, man. They say, I got to go get a degree. I got to enroll in this. And I want my kid to go to this school because the so-called white man, he's God. And his knowledge is the top tier knowledge on the earth. All right. But let's bring this out real quick. Let's go to Wisdom of Solomon 9:6, man. All right. And that's a beautiful precept. Somebody put out Adam J. Israel, the wisdom of the world is foolishness with the Most High, man. Right? As it is written, he taketh the wise in their own craftiness. And again, the Lord knoweth the thoughts of the wise, that they are vain. All right, that's in the book of 1 Corinthians. Right? But this Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 9:6. For though a man be never so perfect among the children of men, yet if thy wisdom be not with him, he shall be nothing regarded. So you can be perfect among the children of men, right? You can have the fanciest clothes on. You could have the highest IQ. You could go on the best trips and eat the best food. We can have all of the women. You can have the fanciest car and house, mansions. It says, yet if thy wisdom be not with him, he shall be nothing regarded. Meaning, if the Most High's wisdom not with you, it don't matter at the end of the day. Because the Most High's wisdom is the true wisdom. That's who you're supposed to go to seek knowledge and understanding. Wouldn't the Lord say, well, I need you to go to the so-called white man and learn about the truth? Well, first of all, this man is not of the truth. So I'm just giving you different attributes of how people have exalted this man as being God. You know? Well, first of all, when you look up God, and everybody got phones, you know? Everybody has a phone. You can just type in God. Let's just do it. We're just going to type in God. Now, you got many nationalities, and you have many of gods on the earth. You got Zeus. You got people still worship Zeus. Right, I know them personally. People that worship Aphrodite, Diana of Ephesus, Buddha, Shiva, Ganesh, Chemosh, Brahma, right? But let's just type in God. Let's see if those gods come up, or let's see what type of God comes up. Just type in God, and let's just go to images. Let's see what we come. Let's see if we get a Chinese man's God, or well, hold on now. It's the first image you get when you type in God, man. With an illuministic pyramid behind his head. Is this what we read about in the Bible? Hold on, let's read that again. This is Ezekiel chapter 28 and 2. Son of man, Slocky, bear with me. Let me turn this brightness up for you. It says, Son of man, say unto the prince of Tyrus, thus saith the Lord God, because thine heart is lifted up. Thou hast said, I am a God. I sit in the seat of God in the midst of the seas. Yet thou art a man and not the Most High, though thou set thine heart as the Most High. So check that out, man. Is this what we read about in the Bible? You're going to find out that this is not God. So we're showing you how the so-called white man, look at this. Come on now. Is this who we believe in? Does this man look like he's going to save a so-called black man from poverty, from oppression? Does he can't look like he can save himself, man. Right, but this is what you trust in. Does this guy look like he's going to save the Hispanic man, the Native American man? Right? No. You know, so at the end of the day, we're giving you characteristics of how this man portrays himself to be the Most High. And this is his heaven right here. Right? Let's go to Isaiah 14 and 14. So that's the first heaven we're touching on. Right? Which is the rulership of Esau himself, man. Isaiah chapter 14. I'm going to start at 12. Isaiah chapter 14 and 12. How art thou fallen from heaven, O Lucifer, son of the morning? How art thou cut down to the ground, which didst weaken the nations? For thou hast said in thine heart, I will ascend into heaven. I will exalt my throne also upon the mount of the congregation and the sides of the north. I will ascend above the heights of the clouds. I will be like the Most High. That's what the so-called white man said. Now I was telling you in verse 12, how art thou fallen from heaven, O Lucifer? Now the average Christian and your great grandmother and your great uncle, Uncle Leroy, cousin Willie, Latoya, and Tisha, you ask them about that. When they come out of that Christian church, they're going to tell you that it was Satan up there. It was up there playing the organ, and what he did was he got a third of the angels to follow him, and he went up to go fight against the Most High. And then the Most High kicked him down on the earth and said, you can't come up here with me no more. You got to go down there. And his fiery place under the ground. Well, hold on. Where's those precepts at? You ask them for a precept, they say, it don't matter, baby. It don't matter, you know. Well, it do matter because Lucifer is talking about the light bearer. That's what Lucifer means. When you look it up, it means to bear a light. Remember, these nations, they gravitate to America, and the minds of these people, they gravitate to the so-called white man because he is exalted himself as the light of the world, as being God, right? And what the Lord said, let's go to St. John 12, I believe. Let's bring this precept out in St. John 12 and see if I can find this precept. Bear with me 1 second. John chapter 12 and 35. Then Yahushua said unto them, yet a little while is the light with you. Walk while ye have the light, lest darkness come upon you. For he that walketh in darkness knoweth not where he goeth. But Yahushua, I'm showing you that he's the true light. But the so-called white man, remember, I just showed you, he set himself up as being God. He set himself up as being the Messiah. Right? That's why when you want to go to light and seek light, you go to the so-called white man, right? Because he's the light bearer, because he set himself up as being the new Jesus. We'll put it like that, right? And again, you type in Jesus. Let's see what we get. The first image of Jesus is this guy. You're gonna find out that this is Lucifer, right? But he set himself up as being God. This is a disguise. I remember back in the day they had Scooby-Doo, man. You know. And a power and a strength of those villains was within their disguises, man. They would dress up like the average person, or they may dress up like a damn a ghoul or a mummy, whatever. But their power and their strength resided in their disguise that they had on, and they had strength in darkness. So while the world was in darkness, the so-called white man said, "Look, I'm gonna be the light of the world. I'm gonna be the new Jesus. Walk in the light while you have time." And why do you think all of the nations come here, man? They all want to dress like the so-called white man, raise their children like him. And you got these damn East Indians, man. They celebrate Thanksgiving now. Well, what the hell is an East Indian and Elamite doing celebrating Thanksgiving? Tomorrow, I got to get the turkey. Well, that has nothing to do with you, but they come to America because they love this light. You know, they got that Statue of Liberty holding up that light. They're Lucifer, and their light is their doctrine. Their philosophy, right? Their way of living, their mind frame. This is the light of the world now. Like a mosquito or a gnat, they're attracted to that light in the land of darkness. Therefore, these nations in Israel, they gravitate towards this place, man. That's why in the book of Job, let's go to Job chapter 10. All right, let's go to Job chapter 10 and verse 22. Right, like the brother Charles Smith said, got Muslims celebrating Christmas, talking about it's for the kids, right? But that's how they get down in this society, man. Right? This Job chapter 10 and 21. Before I go, whence I shall not return, even to the land of darkness and the shadow of death. A land of darkness as darkness itself, and of the shadow of death, without any order, and where the light is as darkness. So that's Babylon the Great, where light is as darkness, right? So his light is really darkness, but the nations don't know that, right? Israel doesn't understand that because they believe that this man is God, and they believe that he has heaven. And in order to get to him, you got to go to his heaven, man, right? So we're showing you how the so-called white man exalt himself. The Lord said, how art thou fallen from heaven, O Lucifer? Meaning he fallen from his highest state, right? His mansions, his power seat, him being the Pope, he's going to be brought down to the ground. He's going to be turned into hell, right? The Lord said in Psalms 9 and 17, let's bring that out about the wicked, right? Psalms chapter 9 and 17. Real quick, and it reads, the wicked shall be turned into hell, and all the nations that forget the Most High. So the wicked, they're going to be turned into hell, meaning they're going into slavery, a lower state captivity. So they're going to go from heaven to hell. Now, again, when people talk about heaven and hell, they don't know what's going on. Like I said, they always talk about heaven with a damn escalator, man. And the escalator got to be over about 1,000 feet, you know, at about a 45-degree angle. And then you get up there, and it's a so-called white man up there, man. And again, I'm gonna just look it up. I haven't looked it up yet, but I'm gonna just type in heaven. I'm gonna just see what comes up, and I'm gonna just show you what I see. Let's see if we can get heaven. And let's go to images. You see that? There you have it, man. This is heaven right here. This is what they say heaven is. You know? They got the escalator. There you go. The escalator at the 45-degree angle. And sometimes they got gold escalator. Sometimes it's white. Right? Let's see what else we can get. Oh, check this one out. They got just the clouds. Yeah, no rail, no banister for this one. You know? But this is the heaven they got now. Right? Let's see if we can get. Oh, and then you got this man in the background waiting on you. Right? You got this man waiting on you. Well, I don't want to go and see the so-called white man, man. Why do I have to be oppressed, murdered, and killed and shot down by the so-called white man in this earth now? Then when I die, I got to go up there and see him again. Why do I have to die to go to? That's another quote, man. A brother made the quote and said, "Why do you have to die to go to heaven?" Right? Only they tell you got to die to go to heaven. Well, look, heaven's going to be on the earth when we rule. You understand? When we rule the earth and we empower and we got the nations under our subjection, that's going to be our heaven. That's going to be their hell. Heaven and hell are dimensions that are played out on the earth, man. Right? Levels of rulership. Right? And again, they always have that one pearly gate. And well, that's not what heaven is, man. We're showing you the realm right now. This is the world that we live in. This is a heaven. This was a world created. Right? And these different worlds were created by Yahweh Shai, man. Right? So Esau, he's going to be taken down from his power seat and be brought to hell. And hell represents either the grave, which is Shawa'al in the Hebrew, the grave, or it can represent captivity and slavery. You know? That's what hell is talking about in the Bible. Or you have something called hellfire that Yahweh Shai spoke about, which is the destruction that he's going to put on you, man. It's never talking about a place underground. There's no account of spirits going underground and then burning forever. And what type of punishment is you burning the spirit when the spirit is already fire? So that shows me that the person that believes in hell, they don't know what's going on. Right? Because when your body is done and destroyed, your flesh is done. Right, let's go to Ecclesiastes 12 real quick. Just to touch on hell for a minute before we go into the second and third heaven. All right, let's go to Ecclesiastes chapter 12. All right, let's go to Ecclesiastes chapter 12 and 6. And it reads, Ecclesiastes chapter 12 and 6. Or ever the silver cord be loosed, or ever the silver cord be loosed, or the golden bowl be broken, or the pitcher be broken at the fountain, or the wheel broken at the cistern. Then shall the dust return to the earth as it was, and the spirit shall return into the Most High who gave it. So check that out, man. So again, your spirit goes up to the Most High, and your spirit is pure fire. So what type of punishment is taking the pure energy and fire and putting it in other fire? That doesn't make sense, man. Right? So that's what these Christians, and you got brothers in the truth that believe in the actual hell, where there's no actual place called hell. Hey, if you didn't know you was in hell, hey, go out in the streets of your local city, go look at all the trash everywhere, look at the no-shoot zones. They got that all throughout Baltimore, no-shoot zones. Look at the chalk zones, look at the murder going on, and you're going to walk around and say, what the hell is this? And you're going to say, this is hell. Right? Not being able to provide for your family, being persecuted, having these devils foot on your neck. This is hell, man. And they're in heaven, right? That's what the Lord said in Psalm chapter 73, that they don't go with the average man goes through. They don't experience the things that we experience. We in two different worlds. And we in two different worlds. Because when a so-called white man, he come in the hood or he come in the ghettos and slums, he like, well, what the hell is this? He don't know how to survive. He don't know how to move and finesse because he's from another world. He's from another dimension, man. He's from another plane. We have our world, which is hell. They have their world in heaven. They're used to privileges and benefits of this society and, getting the pass and things. And hey, look, we don't get that. They're in heaven, we're in hell. It's not that hard to understand, right? This Psalms chapter 73 and 1. And it reads, truly the Most High is good to Israel, even to such as have a clean heart. But as for me, my feet were almost gone, my steps had well nigh slipped. For I was envious at the foolish when I saw the prosperity of the wicked. So David said, look, I got kind of mad when I saw the prosperity of the wicked, man. Here I am. I got to give my car a running start, right? To even get it to go. I got a trash bag over the driver window. You know, I can't really pay my bills. You know, my children, they vex me because they want to do stuff and I can't really take care of them. You know, my woman, you know, she all out of order and I'm in hell. I hear gunshots late at night, not me per se, but I'm speaking in the mind frame of the average life of a so-called Black or Hispanic or Native American man that's in poverty. You know, you're going through all that hell and you see, and you pull up to work and then you get on the elevator, you get off on the second floor, you know, and then Esau, he pressed the damn 15th floor, man. And he on the 15th floor. And he got a beautiful office. He got fish tanks. He pull up and his own, they got their own parking lot. You got your own parking lot, man. Right? Bosses, CEOs only. And they pulling up in Teslas, Bugattis, you know, Lamborghinis, Benzes. And you pulling up and you got the damn smoke coming out the muffler and you got to get out and push your car in the damn damn parking lot, man. So that's their world they live in, and you live in your world. They have their heaven, you have your hell. And David said he was kind of envious when he saw the estate and the wealth and prosperity of the so-called white man, you know. But his envy didn't last long because he began to understand the true meaning of why the Most High was set up, you know. So let's read on. Psalm chapter 73 and verse 4. But there are no bands in their death, but their strength is firm. They are not in trouble as other men, neither are they plagued like other men. How can you be plagued when you're in heaven? You know, when a so-called white man get pulled over, he got his own world he go through. He says, hey, sorry, officer, you know, I'm out. What happened again? Did you check out the game? And, you know, the Red Sox, they're doing good. Officers say, look, hey, look, you know, I was going to do this, but look, go ahead, you know, enjoy the rest of your day. You know, a lot of these Edomites, they get pulled over. They fight the police too, man. And the police still let them go free. I've seen plenty of videos where Esau, he be walking towards a damn police officer, and Esau and a damn cop be like, look, just go back to your car, just relax. Esau got a damn gun in his hand, man. Walking out the streets with a strap on and a rifle on his back, going into damn buildings, man. Let Jake do that. Let the average so-called 19-year-old so-called black man walk around the streets with a damn rifle on in a so-called white man's neighborhood. What's going to happen to him? He's going to be all types of Swiss cheese, man. He's going to be all types of shot up with hot ones in him. Because he can't do the things that he can do. He's in hell. So these Edomites, it says there are no bands in their death, but their strength is firm. Right? They are not in trouble as other men. They don't go with what you go through. When you get pulled over, you're kind of scared, man. You don't know if you're going to go home and see your children. You kind of praying to the Most High, you know, when you get pulled over. You don't want to make any sudden movements, right? Because Esau, they don't go through that. They got their own communities. They got gated communities. Man, I seen somebody steal somebody's stairs, man. Right? I grew up and I was born and raised in Detroit. I seen somebody steal somebody's stairs. You know, these Edomites, they got their damn the front doors open, man. Car windows be rolled down. And you walking around there, man. Esau kind of pull up on you and say, what are you doing? What are you doing around these parts, boy? You don't belong here. You know? You got trash and piss all in your area, and Esau got his street lights work. They don't have no street lights that work in Detroit, man. And in Baltimore, they shoot out the street lights. So they put the martial law lights out there. Esau walking around barefoot, selling lemonade. You know, I used to have this job, man, where I had to go do some things in some Edomite neighborhoods, man. And it looked like an entirely separate world, man. They're not going through what we going through, man. They had waterfalls. How the hell they get a waterfall? I'm looking around, y'all little Edomites selling lemonade, you know? So let me read that. That's right. The brother said, Con, I'm in Detroit. I remember that. They stole some brick stairs. People steal stairs out there, man. I'm talking about for the front. When you're walking in your house, they'll go in the middle of the night and chisel out and take your stairs. Right? But again, that's what this is saying. Let's read it one more time. Psalm chapter 73 and verse 5. They are not in trouble as other men, neither are they plagued like other men. Therefore, pride compasseth them about as a chain. Violence covereth them as a garment. Their eyes stand out with fatness. They have more than heart could wish. So that's still, man. Their eyes stand out with fatness. They covetous, and they have all that they can have because this is their heaven. Right? Let's go to 2 Peter chapter 3. Get one more precept on them having their heaven. All right, let's go to 2 Peter about the Lord said the heavens being on fire. All right, 2 Peter chapter 3, and I'm going to read verse 10. And it reads, right, 2 Peter chapter 3 and 10. And again, shalom to everybody. I didn't salute. I just hopped on the live stream. All right. Susan Tillman, the righteous sister, Uzelia Jacobs. She always put the precepts up there at the water for that. Malachi Barisa, Jermaine Stephenson, right? B3, Arda Bully, Lion from Zion, shalom, shalom. All right, this 2 Peter chapter 3 and 10. But the day of the Lord will come as a thief in the night, in the which the heavens shall pass away with the great noise, and the elements shall melt with fervent heat. The earth also, and the works that are therein shall be burned up. So the Most High said that when the Lord comes back, it's going to be when you least expect it. And he said the heavens shall pass away with great, it's like you with a great noise. Now, why did it say heavens? If there's only one heaven, and you got to take the staircase to get there, you know, and you got to sit there, it's like you got to sit there and wait in line, and then somebody might cut in line, and Esau's there with a white beard. Why did the Lord say heavens plural? Because these heavens are the rulerships of the so-called white man, the rulership of the Moabites, the Ishmaelites. They're the powers that rule this earth. But their heavens are going to be on fire. When the Lord come back and destroy this place with fervent heat, their kingdoms are going to be destroyed. That's what the Lord's Revelation, it's like in Revelation chapter 21 and 1, it reads, and I saw a new heaven and a new earth, for the first heaven and the first earth were passed away, and there was no more sea. So right now you're living in the first heaven, right? Whenever you're going around in the land of Babylon, or you in captivity in some nation, right? You want to travel to Europe or whatever, you're still living in the first heaven. This is the first world of rulership by the so-called white man, you know? So John saw a new heaven and a new earth. Well, what's the new heaven and the new earth? That's the Israelites. We're the new heaven. And we're going to be ruling in a replenished earth. When it says new earth, it doesn't mean the Most High is going to destroy this earth, right? It means that a new sense of power and rulership and authority is going to be given, right? That's what the Lord said in Sirach chapter 10. Let's bring this out of the Apocrypha. All right, Sirach chapter 10 and verse 4, right? Sirach chapter 10 and 4. The power of the earth is in the hand of the Lord, and in due time he will set over it one that is profitable. So the due time is when the so-called white man is taken out. He's going to set us in power. All right, I'm gonna jump down. Verse 8, Sirach chapter 10 and 8. Because of unrighteous dealings, injuries, and riches got by deceit, the kingdom, or you can also say heaven, right? The kingdom is translated from one people to another. Because of sin and wickedness, the Lord takes power from one people and gives it to another people, right? So the power from Esau is going to be given to Jacob. That's why I tell you in Daniel, let's go to Daniel 7 and 18. All right, we're going to go to Daniel chapter 7 and verse 18. So we breaking down how this heaven is going to be translated. All right, Daniel 7 and 18, and it reads, but the saints of the Most High shall take the kingdom. We're going to take down a heaven, and we're going to be the new heaven on the earth. We're going to begin beamed down out those chariots. We're going to be placed in the wilderness. And the earth is going to be wasted and destroyed, but it's going to be refreshed. as the Israelites ruled. All right, it's lucky. Daniel 7:18 again. But the saints of the Most High shall take the kingdom and possess the kingdom forever, even forever and ever. All right. So there you have it, man. So let's go back to Revelation 21. All right, Revelation, the 21st chapter and the first verse. And I saw a new heaven and a new earth. Because a lot of people, we brought this out earlier, they think the earth is going to be completely destroyed and broken in pieces. You know? Well, hey, according to the Most High, the earth abideth forever. Let's bring that out again. The earth is going to be here forever, man. Right? Ecclesiastes chapter 1. And let's go to verse 4. All right. Precept upon precept, line upon line, here a little and there a little. Ecclesiastes chapter 1 and 4. One generation passeth away, and another generation cometh, but the earth abideth forever. So the earth is going to be here forever. All right, self-explanatory. The Lord also said in Psalm chapter 115, let's bring this out, Psalm chapter 115 and verse 16. The heaven, even the heavens are the Lord's, but the earth hath he given to the children of men. And the Most High, he rules all the heavens, but he dwells specifically, for lack of better terms, in the third heaven. Right? So those belong to the Lord, but the Most High has given the earth to us. All right. So let's go back to please one more time, Revelation, Salakia, Revelation chapter 21 and 1. And it reads, and I saw, and the live stream, it wouldn't be a live stream unless you had a scoffer, right? Unless you had a scoffer, and that's okay, right? You have to have scoffers set up, just like you have to have righteous men and women set up. All right, Revelation chapter 21 and 1. And I saw a new heaven and a new earth, for the first heaven and the first earth were passed away. Meaning, we read that in 2 Peter, the 3rd chapter, that these heavens are going to be on fire. They're going to pass away and be destroyed. We read that in Isaiah, the 14th chapter, that Lucifer is going to be kicked out of heaven, man. And I'm talking about the so-called white man's rulership is going to be brought down to the ground. That's what the Lord said, come down and sit in the dust. Well, if the Lord said, come down and sit in the dust, where were you sitting at before? You have to be sitting somewhere before. If the Lord said, come and sit in the dust, you were sitting in your heavens, your rulership, your throne, while you were sitting upon that scarlet colored beast, ruling the earth in pure wickedness and oppression. Right? See that in 2nd Esdras. Let me bring this up real quick. In 2nd Esdras 11. Right? I believe that's 49. It's like 11 and bear with me. 40. All right, let's bring that up. 2nd Esdras 11 and 40. Right? This dealing with the eagle. Right? We'll put it like that. The eagle. All right. Right, and the fourth came and overcame all the beasts that were passed, right? And this is talking about mainly the so-called white man, his Roman Empire coming back on the earth. It starts off with the ancient Roman Empire, with the Roman Republic, leading all the way up to the end of the so-called white man's Roman Empire going down. It says, and the fourth came and overcame all the beasts that were passed, and they had power over the world with great fearfulness, meaning they were ruling in heaven, and over the whole compass of the earth with much wicked oppression. And so long time dwelt he upon the earth with deceit. For the earth hast thou not judged with truth, for thou hast afflicted the meek, thou hast hurt the peaceable, thou hast loved the liars, and destroyed the dwellings of them that brought forth fruit, and hast cast down the walls of such as did thee no harm. Therefore is thy wrongful dealing come up unto the highest, and thy pride into the mighty. The highest also hath looked upon the proud times, and behold, they are ended, and his abominations are fulfilled. And therefore appear no more thou eagle, nor thy horrible wings, nor thy wicked feathers, nor thy malicious heads, nor thy hurtful claws, nor all thy vain body, that the earth may be refreshed. That's what it means, a new earth. I believe that word new in the Greek in Revelation 21 is kainos, which means refreshed or restarted. That's why he saw a new earth and a new heaven. Because once this eagle's taken out, the Most High said that all the earth may be refreshed. Check that out. And may return, being delivered from thy violence, and that he may hope for the judgment and mercy of him that made her. Right? So the Lord saw I put in the spirit of John to see the first heaven and the first earth was passed away, and there was no more sea, meaning no more rulership of the nations. They refer to as the sea. When you read Revelation 17 and 15, Ezekiel chapter 47, Zechariah 14 and 8 on down, they refer to as the waters or the sea. So that's the first heaven that we address, which is the rulership of these nations, right? This the first heaven in itself is the firmament, right? That's the first heaven. You have the firmament that divides from the waters from the waters. All right, let's bring that out in Genesis, the first chapter. All right, let's go to Genesis chapter 1. All right, Genesis chapter 1, and I'm gonna read verse 1. Right, Genesis chapter 1 and 1, and it reads, "In the beginning, the Most High," and I want to do I'll do another in-depth breakdown of Genesis, the first chapter, for another day. But I'm gonna just read 1 through 6. All right, but I want to focus on the 6th verse. Genesis 1 and 1. In the beginning, God created the heaven and the earth. But we know in the Hebrew that word God is Elohim, which is a plural way of saying God, meaning the powers. Yum at the end of that word, Elohim, it makes things more than one. So the gods or the powers, meaning Yahweh Shah and the angels, they created the heavens and the earth. It says in the beginning, meaning our beginning, in the beginning of time for us. And in this world that we live in now, the Lord is starting off time with the creation. But the Most High, he's prior to this creation. Yahweh Shah, he's prior to this. The angels being created, the spiritual demon Satan being created, even the chariots being created. They were created prior to this, right? But this is our time for us to understand, so we can get some type of perspective and what things kind of kicked off. This is in the beginning. God created the heavens and the earth was without form and void, and darkness was upon the face of the deep, and the spirit of the Most High moved upon the face of the waters, meaning the spirit of the angels, Yahweh Shah, moved upon the waters, right? Now, when it says the earth was without form and void, it means the earth was there, right? It's not saying the earth wasn't there, but the earth wasn't put together yet, right? The earth was basically in its elemental stage. The different molecules was there. The hydrogen, you understand, the oxygen, right? The sulfur on the earth, the calcium. It was all there, but you can't see it. You can't see oxygen, You can't see these different elements, man. Right? The Lord tell you that these things were created by the elements and matter. Right? Let's bring that out and I believe that's Wisdom of Solomon 11 and 17. Right? This Wisdom of Solomon chapter 11 and verse 17. For thy almighty hand that made the world of matter without form, right? Wanted not means to send among them a multitude of bears or fierce lions. So it said the world was made of matter. Now, let's pull this up real quick. Now it says the definition of matter. Now, matter is found in the Bible, but this is how the world was made. You had matter there. You had the elements there. Right? Now, matter, it says a physical substance in general as distinct from mind and spirit. It says something that which occupies space and possesses mass. So it's something that's there, but you can't physically see it. And the Most High made that. All right. That's what it means. The earth was there, but it was without form and void. Like you have things there among you, but once the Most High put the elements together and take the angels and put this with this and connect this with this and this with this, and then you can kind of see it. The Most High can do that with things that's not seen. He can take things that's not seen and make them appear. Like I was reading the Apocrypha, the Lord speaks about the image of a voice, right? The Lord can take your actual voice and make it visible, and that's what he did in the beginning. Let me bring that out real quick at 2nd Esdras, right? But you ask a so-called white man how the earth was created, and man, he's going to tell you all types of stuff, man. They call it the impact theory. They say something, or no, that's how the moon was formed. You see how the earth was created, man. This is what the so-called white man say. All right, we're gonna pull it up. Right, we pulling up Esau's lies, man. Right, how we they say the Big Bang theory. All right, they say the Earth was formed about 4.54 billion years ago, approximately 1/3 the age of the universe. They don't know what's going on, right? They don't know what's going on, man. All right. They say they were made over leftover gas from the nebula of the sun. So they said the moon was created after something collided with the Earth. How the hell did the Lord say that? But the so-called white man said that the moon was created after something hit the Earth. Well, hold on now. I thought the moon and the sun was created on the fourth day. So you got to stop believing the lies of the so-called white man. All right, but let's bring this up. This second Esdras, chapter 5, and bear with me 1 second. Bear with me. Second Esdras, chapter 5. I'm gonna find this precept where he kind of asks Ezra these questions, and Ezra really didn't have the answers. All right. Well, I'll find it one day. Where basically the Most High says, "Show me the image of a voice." So the Most High could take things that's not seen and make them sing. All right, but let's go to Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 7. Let's go to that instead. All right, this Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 7 and 17. For he hath given me certain knowledge of things that are, namely to know how the world was made and the operation of the elements. So Solomon knew about the operation of the elements. He knew about neon, zinc, argon, right? He knew about the periodic table before even Esau came up with it, man. Right? So he knew about the elements. He knew about matter. And he knew that's what it means when the earth was without form and void. It was there, but it wasn't there. You know? And it was darkness there, meaning it was just emptiness, complete darkness out there. And the Most High had to have a light created that his works may appear. I can tell you in 2nd Esdras, the 6th chapter. It says, and the Spirit of God moved upon the face of the waters, meaning the angels, and the angels are fire, pure fire. So they stirring up these elements. You know, life is created through heat. So they stirring up the elements and they getting things made right now. They linking this element with this element, linking this with this, making this with this, you know, and it's all happening in darkness. That's what I mean. The Spirit of the Lord is moving upon the waters. All right. It says, and the Most High said, let there be light, and there was light. Meaning the Most High extracted the light out of darkness, right? That his works can be seen, right? This 2nd Esdras, chapter 6. All right, let's go to 2nd Esdras. It's like I'm in Wisdom of Solomon. Let's go to 2nd Esdras, the 6th chapter. All right. Bear with me 1 second. 2nd Esdras, chapter 6 and verse 38. Right? 2nd Esdras, chapter 6 and 38. And I said, O Lord, thou spakest from the beginning of the creation, even the first day, and saidest thus, let heaven and earth be made, and thy word was a perfect work. And then was the Spirit, and darkness and silence were on every side, because it was nothing but darkness, right? It says, the sound of man's voice was not yet formed. Then commandest thou a fair light to come forth of thy treasures, that thy work might appear. So that's why the Most High created that light. Now that light is not the same light as the sun, right? Because you can have light, but you don't need the sun, right? Light was created before the sun. I'm not saying that the sun don't bring forth light, but that's not the only instrument of light. There's light outside of this firmament. Remember, the sun is within this firmament. The sun gives light on the earth, right? But there is light outside the firmament, right? If you could, right, leave this firmament, which you can't, you know, don't believe the so-called white man. They travel to the planet Mars. You know, they put a vehicle, a robot vehicle on this damn star. Don't believe that. They can't leave this firmament. But peradventure, you were able to leave, it would still be light out there, because there's an its own abstract light, you know, just to put that out there, right? it says, and the Most High said, let there be light, and there was light. And the Most High saw the light, that it was good, and the Most High divided the light from the darkness, right? And God, and that's all spirit too, because we represent the light, and you have the nation, they represent the darkness. That's why First Thessalonians, the 5th chapter, he speaks of the children of the light and the children of the darkness. These things are parabolic in Genesis, the 1st chapter, but we're going to do an in-depth breakdown on that one day, Lord willing. You know, it says, and the Most High called the light day, and the darkness he called night, and the evening and the morning were the first day. So your day begins in the evening. And here's the point I want, though, dealing with the heaven. All right, Genesis 1:6. And the Most High said, let there be a firmament in the midst of the waters, and let it divide the waters from the waters. So you have an expanse, a firmament being made to divide the waters from above from the waters below, right? Now, if I could give you a physical, basically a physical description of what's going on, you have the sun and the moon within the firmament, and you have an expanse right there, and you have waters all the way above that. All right, and this firmament is dividing the waters from the waters. There's waters on the earth, rivers and oceans, you know, and there's waters above. All right, that's why if you go to the book of Psalms, let's go to Psalms real quick. I believe I want chapter 144, if I'm not mistaken. All right, Psalms chapter 148. So like Psalms chapter 148 and 4. Praise him, ye heaven of heavens, and ye waters that be above the heavens. Right? Ye waters that be above the heavens. There's waters above the heavens. Right? That's why in Genesis, when the Lord created the flood, the waters came down from the fountain of the great deep. Right? Let's bring that out. Let's go to Genesis chapter 7 and 11. Right? Genesis chapter 7 and 11. And it reads, and the 600th year of Noah's life, and the 2nd month, the 17th day of the month, the same day were all the fountains of the great deep broken up, and the windows of heaven were opened, and the rain was upon the earth 40 days and 40 nights. So you have the windows of heaven were opened. You have water under the earth. You have glaciers and icebergs that were melted. The water under the earth came up. It was raining on the earth, and the Lord opened up the windows of heaven, and that was water coming down too. Right? So that's how the earth flooded in 40 days and 40 nights so quickly. Right? Because the Lord had water from the clouds, then he opened up the water above, and he had water on the ground coming up, and glaciers and icebergs, it was all broken up. And then you have water just kind of rise up, man. How do you think it happened so quickly? That can't be no ordinary rain that flooded the entire planet Earth in 40 days and 40 nights. There has to be other forms of water coming on the scene, other ways other than rain clouds. For 40 days and 40 nights, tell you that the waters was above the damn mountains. That can't be no ordinary rain, right? But you have a firmament that divides those waters from the waters. That's called the first heaven, right? When you go to the book of Job, it speaks about that. Right, let's go to Job. Right, because I didn't really write any precepts down. I'm just going off the spirit. Right, this is the book of Job, chapter 37 and 17. Right, Job chapter 37 and 17. And it reads, how thy garments are warm when he quieteth the earth by the south wind. Reading on. Hast thou with him spread out the sky, which is strong and as a molten looking glass. So the Lord said the sky is strong like a molten looking glass. That sky is hard, man. It's a firmament. It's like if you had a snow globe. You know, if you had a snow globe, you kind of cut it in half, and you got that molten looking glass, right? And you can't really crack that. You can't go past that, man. You know. So that's how that firmament is. That's called the first heaven. And it divides the waters above from the waters below. All right. Let's go back to Genesis. All right. And our forefathers knew about that, man. All right. They all knew about that. That's why even in Song of the Three Holy Children, they spoke about the waters above the firmament. Right? They say, ye waters that be above the heavens, praise ye the Lord. Right? Praise and exalt him. Let's bring that out. It's a song of the three holy children. And I'm going to get straight to the point. Verse 38. O all ye waters that be above the heavens. So they just said, all ye waters that be above the heavens, man. Why would they say that? Because they knew about the waters above the heavens. All right. But they don't tell you that in school, man. They don't know what's going on. You know, they say you got planet Uranus, Neptune. You got this galaxy is going to collide with this galaxy. The Earth is going to run out of steam and give out and turn into a black hole, and everybody's going to die. Is that how the Most High planet? Did the Most High say the sun is going to just go out and turn into a black hole and suck up everybody, and everybody's just gone? So these devils, man, they be winging it. You're going to find out that you men that trust in the so-called white man's understanding and knowledge, you have been living a lie. You will continue to live a lie unless you come back and get to the true knowledge of the Most High found in these scriptures and the holy books. All right. So let's go back to Genesis, the first chapter. All right. This is Genesis chapter 1 and 6 again. And the Most High said, which is really the Elohim, the powers, let there be a firmament in the midst of the waters, and let it divide the waters from the waters. And the Most High made the firmament and divided the waters which were under the firmament from the waters which are above the firmament, and it was so. So you have the waters up there, you have the firmament, and it divides it from like the ocean and your rivers and your local sea down on the earth below. And the Most High called the firmament heaven, and the evening and the morning were the second day. So that's called heaven right there, right? The firmament is called the first heaven. And you can't really get past that firmament. We read in Job that it's strong like a molten looking glass. And they got videos, man, where these Edomites, they try to get past the firmament, and they really can't do that, man. Right? They put it in advertisements. They put it in a local slocky commercials. You know, let's see if I can get that. Bear with me. Bear with me 1 second. Right, I can see if I can pull this up. All right, now this is an advertisement for Hennessy. I know a lot of brothers start smiling when I said that.
Journey ends, the next one begins.
You see that? I'm gonna play it again, but basically what they did was they went past and got through the firmament, and they touched all of the waters. You know, let's bring that out again.
When one journey ends,
so they traveling up and up.
next one begins.
They cracked the firmament and touched the water. But why did they do that? Because they know, right? They know what's going on, man. If you were to leave this firmament, then you would touch the waters, man. All right. And they, like a brother said, I believe they put it in cartoons, and that information is out there, man. Let's see if we can get a longer version of this. See, traveling.
When a man reaches the edge, after he goes as far as any man can possibly go,
See that?
how does his son continue?
And these devils start smiling, man. They wish they could do that, man. Right? That's right. A brother made a good point. They train in water. Astronauts train in water, you know? And the word astronaut, when you look it up, astro meaning star, that not part goes back to the word nautica, or nautical, meaning to travel on water. Like they have a clothing brand called Nautica, and it's a boat right there, right? Because they travel in the water, man. Because you have waters above, and you have the word astronaut means a sea sailor, or it's like a star a star sailor sails in the ocean above the heavens. That's what the word astronaut means, man. Why would they call it an astronaut? Because they understand that there's waters above the heavens, you know? And that's why they, like the brother said, they train in water a lot, man. And you see them kind of moving, and that fake cause zero gravity. That's like somebody moving in water, right? So the Lord is telling you what's going on, man. All right, the water's above and the water's below. All right, same thing. So again, that first heaven is called the firmament, so that they know what's going on, man. All right, it literally means a sea sailor, and that's why if you look up some of those, see if I can pull this up. I'm just going through my phone a lot to give you a visual. If you look up, like if you see ancient old fish tanks, and you see the man in the scuba diving gear, it resembles that of an astronaut. Right? It's the same exact thing of an astronaut. Let me see if I can, I'm not sure the exact terminology for it, but brothers and sisters should know what I'm talking about. It's the here it is. The bear with me. Basically, when a man goes in this kind of suit right here, right? I'm not sure what the exact wording is, but they have these suits right there. And when they in those suits, it looked like what the so-called astronauts kind of wear, man. You know, here it is right here, right? Now that's going under the waters. Now, if you look up what these Edomites make for their astronaut suits, it looks just like a man that would travel underwater, right? Because they understand, they know what's going on. While you believing that the sun is going to explode, they sitting there trying to crack that damn firmament. All right. Like the brothers or Hebrew of Hebrews, like the squirrel off of SpongeBob, man. She got like an astronaut suit on, but she underwater, and she kind of live in a dome underwater. All right, that's a good point right there. And then you have, I've seen certain videos where people, they try to go down to the ocean floor, but then they dive off the ocean floor, and there's more water under there. So there's waters under the waters. There's water under the earth. That's why they pour water out of a well, because there's water under the earth. Hey, you got water in you, man. You're born in water. Water's vital, man. Living water cleanses you. But the Most High deals with that heavy. All right. So again, that first heaven is called the firmament. We break it down to second heaven, which is the waters above the firmament. Right? And there's waters up in the atmosphere. You know, that's what you get saturation and condensation from. You know, you have waters up there in the sky. You know, that's where you can have humidity. Humidity is based off of waters up here in the heavens, man. All right. And you got waters up there in the clouds. All right. So check that out. So when it rains, that's that condensation just coming down, maximizing, man. So then you have the third heaven. Now the third heaven is where the Most High dwells at. All right, let's go to 2 Peter, the third chapter. 2 Corinthians, chapter 3. All right, let's go to 2 Corinthians, chapter 3. That's right, like the brother said, that movie with Cuba Gooding Jr. Right, when he was a deep sea scuba diver, man. You know, let's bring that up. This 2 Corinthians, chapter 12 and 1. Right, 2 Corinthians, chapter 12 and 1. And it reads, "It is not expedient for me doubtless to glory. I will come to visions and revelations of the Lord." What he's saying is, look, I don't want to brag and boast, but I got to tell you about these revelations, right, that I had. I knew a man in Hamashiach about 14 years ago, whether in the body I cannot tell, or rather out of the body I cannot tell, the Most High knoweth, such an one caught up to the third heaven. He said that he was caught up to the third heaven. Paul himself. And I knew such a man, whether in the body or out of the body, I cannot tell, the Most High knoweth, how that he was caught up into paradise. So the third heaven, it represents paradise. Right? Such an one caught up to the third heaven and heard unspeakable words, which it is not lawful for a man to utter. Meaning there's no words on the earth that you can kind of frame with your mind to describe what you see in the heavens. All right. That's what it means. It's not lawful to utter. But the point is, Paul got caught up to the third heaven. He was speaking of himself, you know, and the third heaven is paradise where the Most High dwells at. So when your body goes down to the dust, and we brought out in Ecclesiastes chapter 12, your spirit goes up to the third heaven, right? We just brought that out. All right, let's go through another precept. Let's go to the book. There's a lot of precepts I want to get to, but in a short time, let's go to Job, the third chapter. All right, so now we're dealing with the third heaven. Let's go to Job chapter 3, and I want to start at 12. Right, Job, the third chapter, and the 12th verse. Why did the knees prevent me? Or why the breast that I should suck? For now should I have been lying still and been quiet. I should have slept and I had been at rest, meaning I should have been dead. Why didn't the Most High just kill me and I got to go through all of this? That's what Job is saying. Right? I should have been at rest with kings and counselors of the earth, which built desolate places for themselves, or with princes that had gold who filled their houses with silver, or as in hidden untimely birth I had not been, as infants which never saw light. There the wicked cease from troubling, and there the weary be at rest. Well, there is a certain location. If I tell somebody, look, I'm about to go over there, that's a certain place I'm going to. Job, through the spirit, it says, there the wicked be cease from troubling, and there the weary be at rest. Where is that at? Up there in the third heaven, in the spirit world, right? Rather you wicked, or rather you righteous, rather you ungodly, rather you godly, you short, fat, tall, black, blue, purple, yellow, beige. You go ashy, right? You go up to the spirit world, man. Right? You go up there to where the Most High dwells at. And the wicked, they can't trouble you no more because they're done. Their flesh is done and corrupt and is being decomposed back down in the earth. And your spirit got to go back in the spirit world. When your body goes back down to the earth, it goes back, and these unclean animals, they eat it, man, because they got to eat too. You got animals that only eat dead bodies, man, like vultures, different beetles and insects. They have to eat too. So the Most High has to feed them by killing men every day too. And he kind of sanctioned a feast for them, man, and they feast off of your dead body. Then your elements go back down to the earth, and then man goes back to the dirt and builds something with your dead body and your spirit. And, you know, he recycled the elements, and your spirit is about to be recycled that we're about to read about in the heavens, right? So your spirit goes back to the Most High. Let's read on. Job chapter 3 and 17 again. There the wicked cease from troubling, and there the weary be at rest. There the prisoners rest together. They hear not the voice of the oppressor. The small and great are there, and the servant is free from his master. So that's up there in the spirit world, man. Right? Everybody goes up there. The small, the great, the wicked, the righteous. And what's up there with you? Your works, they're going to follow you too. Right? Let's bring that out in Revelation 14. Right? Let's go to Revelation chapter 14, where the Lord said their works do follow them. All right, Revelation, the 14th chapter and the 13th verse. Right, Revelation 14 and 13. And it reads, if I could bear with me 1 second. Revelation chapter 14 and 13. And I heard a voice from heaven saying unto me, write, blessed are the dead which die in the Lord from henceforth. Yea, said the Spirit, that they may rest from their labors, and their works do follow them. So your works follow you. When you go up there in the spirit world, your works, they follow right behind you. You going up, and right behind you, tagging along, are all of your works. Right? How did you live on the earth? How did you serve the Most High? How did you deal with your brother? Right? Were you a wicked man? Were you a godly man? Right? Were you a blasphemer, or were you diligent? All of these works, the angels, they wrote it all down. When you go up there, the angel, look, hey, this is brother's works right here. They hand it, for lack of better terms, they hand it to the Most High. You know, they say, look, Lord, this is brother so-and-so spirit. Yeah, he's up here. You know, I just put him down like you told me to put him down. This death angel came and killed him in a wildfire. Hey, look, Lord, I was in charge of all of his works, writing them down. Well, here's his rap sheet. Here's the spiritual Carfax. Here's the good. Here's the bad. Your Lord, look at it. Look at all. Okay, see what's going on. Like the brother, he was wicked. Oh, he was a child molester. Okay, that's why he died in the wildfire. Not that the Most High forgot, but I'm just giving you painting the picture for you. Most High look, okay, so forth and so on. All right, it's time to send that man back on the earth in about 3 or 4 generations. Then he comes back on the earth. So when your spirit is up there in the spirit world, it's up there for a moment of time, but then it got to come back on the earth. Right? How do you know that? Let's go to 2nd Ezra, the 4th chapter. These are things that are going on in a spiritual realm. Right? Let's go to 2nd Ezra, the 4th chapter. All right, 2nd Ezra chapter 4 and 36. All right, 2nd Ezra 4 and 36, and it reads, "And unto these things Uriel the archangel gave them answer, and said, Even when the number of seeds is filled in you, for he hath weighed the world and the balance. By measure he measured the times, and by number hath he numbered the times, and he doth not move nor stir them until the said measure be fulfilled," meaning everything's on the timeline, like we always go into, right? Reading on. "Then answered I and said, O Lord that bearest rule, even we all are full of impiety, and for our sakes peradventure it is that the floors of the righteous are not filled, because of the sins of them that dwell upon the earth. So he answered me and said, Go thy way for a woman with child." Meaning, go ask a woman that's pregnant, and ask her when she hath fulfilled her 9 months, if her womb may keep birth any longer within her. Meaning, when it's time for this child to give birth, you can't stop it. That water going to break and that child coming out. Now, you can't be a woman and say, no, I'm going to hold on to this pregnancy. I love being pregnant, right? I love the attention. I love walking around, with the baby, and I love that feeling. I want to do that for 2 years. You can't say that. I want to be pregnant for 2 years. Hey, the Lord said that is called a gestation period, right? Animals, they pregnant for certain periods of time. Some animals 6 months, some 3 months, right? And they in their spirit and they body, they can make like 32 babies, man. Spider can lay like a damn 100 eggs. They got a set time where they have to give birth. Man, you have a set time that you have to give birth. Moses has a set time where the so-called white man got to be taken out. He got a set time for these spirits to come back on the earth. He got a set time for this live stream to continue and end. All these things are being done by the Lord. All right. So that's what this means. I'm going to read that again. 2nd Ezra chapter 4 and 40. Right? 2nd Ezra chapter 4 and 40. And it reads, "So he answered me and said, Go thy way to a woman with child, and ask of her when she hath fulfilled her 9 months, if her womb may keep the birth any longer within her. Then said I, No, Lord, that she cannot. And he said unto me, In the grave, the chambers of souls are like the womb of a woman." Now your soul is up in the spirit world, right? You have chambers of souls that come down in different generations. Another word for a chamber is like a room, because you got certain spirits that are on the earth right now. Up there in the heavens, you got another chamber with other spirits that have to come after that. You have other spirits that have to come after that, right? I'm gonna hold this precept, but I'm gonna go to Sirach chapter 14 real quick. Right, those are the chambers of souls. These are things going on in the third heaven. All right, let's go to Sirach. I'm the 14th chapter, and I believe I want the 18th verse. Sirach chapter 14 and 18. "As if the green leaves on a thick tree, some fall and some grow, so is the generation of flesh and blood. One cometh to an end and another is born." Right, so hey, just like leaves fall off a tree and they're on the ground and they decompose and go back to the elements of the earth, hey, other leaves, they're going to grow, man. Right? Then those leaves going to fall, then other things going to grow on the tree. That's how spirits are recycled back on the earth. We're going to go to that if we have time in Ecclesiastes, the 1st chapter. Right? One generation passeth away and another generation cometh, but the earth abideth forever. The earth is going to be here forever, and it's going to be the habitation of these spirits that are recycled. Right? Doesn't everything recycle? Don't they have something they teach you in school, man? They call it the water cycle. Right? It rains, it goes down on the earth, in the water, it evaporates, it condenses in the clouds, then it rains again. Then what happens after it rains? Hey, well, it's going to evaporate again. and it goes back up to the clouds. It condenses in the clouds. It rains again. And what happens after that? It evaporates, and the cycle continues over and over again. All right, what about seeds? Don't you plant a seed, and then something grows, and then fruit comes out, then the fruit falls to the ground with the fruit with the seeds in it, then that seed is in the earth, then more trees grow. Everything goes in a cycle. That's the mind frame of the Most High. That's how he made it. Why did he make it like that? Because he wanted to. Right? And again, you've been on the earth again. Everybody on the earth have been here in time past. Just a different body. You had a different body, but you have the same behavior, same spirit. Right? If you are in the truth now, if you're in the truth right now, you was in the truth when the Lord walked the earth. Hey, somebody on this live stream, they could have been sitting down being fed by Yahushua when he fed the 5,000. You know? And you got people on the earth right now that walk past Yahushua on the cross and kind of mocked him, man. And said, hey, let this man save himself. If he be the son of God, maybe Elijah could save him. Those men are back on the earth too. All right? But again, let me read that again. Sirach 14 and 18. As the green leaves on a thick tree, some fall and some grow, so is the generation of flesh and blood. One cometh to an end and another is born. So that's what that means in 2nd Ezra 4. All right, let's go back to 2nd Ezra, the 4th chapter. And I may have to do a part 4 in this series. I'm going into the in-depth breakdown of regeneration. Right? I may do that later today if time permits. All right, this 2nd Ezra chapter 4 and verse 42. 41, Salakia, 2nd Ezra chapter 4 and 41. And it reads, Then said I, No, Lord, that she cannot. And he said unto me, In the grave, the chambers of souls are like the womb of a woman. Except in the spirit world, you have the different chambers of souls. And you got to come back on the earth in your 3rd and 4th generation. All right? How do you know that? Let's go to the book of Exodus, the 20th chapter. All right, let's go to Exodus chapter 20. And I'm going to read verse 5. This is the book of Exodus chapter 20 and verse 5. Thou shalt not bow down thyself to them, nor serve them, for I, the Lord thy God, am a jealous God, visiting the iniquities of the fathers upon the children unto the 3rd and 4th generation of them that hate me, and showing mercy unto the thousands of them that love me and keep my commandments. So the Most High said, you come back. Basically, he judges you for what you did in your 3rd and 4th generation. So that's when you come back on the earth and get every 3rd or 4th generation according to the Most High's judgment. Right? So that's us coming back on the earth. All right? And that happens forever. Right? That continually happens. There's no stop of the cycle of life. Like somebody put on the live chat, man. You know? So let's go back to that. And then again, it's like before we go back to that, up there in the spirit world, you got certain spirits up there. They kind of complain to the Most High for what they have went through on the earth. You know, how do you know that? Well, didn't that happen to Abel, where it says, "The voice of thy brother's blood crieth unto me from the ground"? Let's bring that out real quick. Up there in the 3rd heaven, you got spirits. They kind of yelling at the Lord, man. Hey, Lord, look, hey, I got murdered, Most High. Hey, can you do something about this? Hey, Most High, look, hey, this Edomite, he kidnapped me and he stole my organs. Hey, Lord, can you do something for me? All right. This Genesis chapter 4. Right? Genesis chapter 4 and verse 9. Right? Genesis 4 and 9. And the Lord said unto Cain, Where is Abel thy brother? And he said, I know not, am I my brother's keeper? I mean, I don't know this. Basically, he said, I don't know this nigga, man. You know, it's lucky, but that's what he said, man. I don't know Abel. You want me to protect Abel? I'm not messing with Abel, man. You know, I don't know him, yo. That's what he basically told the Most High. I don't know that dude. You expect me to watch over my brother? Man, forget that dude. So that's a Cain. He the wicked, man. You got brothers like that now, right? But what did the Most High say in verse 10? And he said, What hast thou done? The voice of thy brother's blood crieth unto me from the ground. So what does it mean, the voice of your brother's blood crieth unto me from the ground? Now, last time I checked, I didn't see a voice box, tonsils, and a tongue on blood on the ground. And I never heard blood cry out. It means the spirit up there is crying out in the ears of the Most High. And Abel was up there telling the Most High, hey, look what Cain did to me. Look, he deceived me. He stabbed me in the back. He hit me in the head when I wasn't looking. He talked to me peaceably and he murdered me in cold blood. Most High do something about it. So that's when the Most High went to go check Abel, man. I mean, check Cain. You know, and the Lord said in 2nd Esdras, and again, I might have to do a part 3 on this, right? I'm gonna go for a few more. This 2nd Esdras chapter, or part 4, 2nd Esdras chapter 15, and I'm gonna read verse 8. I will hold my tongue no more as touching their wickedness, which they profanely commit. Neither will I suffer them in those things in which they wickedly exercise themselves. Meaning, I'm going to stop the so-called white man and his wickedness right now. I'm done playing games. I'm done standing still. I'm about to touch the earth. Reading on. Behold, the innocent and righteous blood crieth unto me, and the souls of the just complain continually. Where's your soul at? It's up in the spirit world. Now, you got these people, they believe in purgatory. They believe that your spirit is just up there waiting, just waiting in some different place. There's an actual Roman Catholic doctrine called purgatory, right? Hey, in Islam, they believe when you die, you go up and you got 72 virgins, man, just waiting for you. What is the spirit? What is that about? You know? So pleasure comes from the flesh. You understand? So when your spirit is up there, what are you going to do with 72 virgins? You a spirit, right? You're not going to move like you did on the earth. And again, where is purgatory at in the Bible? When did the Most High say, look, you're going to go up, but before you get your judgment, I want you to go up to this middle world I got for you. You're going to be sitting up there and you got to work it out. Work it out. And if you don't work it out, I'm going to send you to an actual place called hell. But if you do good, if you work it out in purgatory, you examine yourself, then I'll let you come up to heaven with me. Well, where's that at in the Bible? You're going to find out it's not in there. All right? You're going to find out it's definitely not in there. All right? Let's get another quick precept. All right, let's go to the book of Job, chapter 23 and 1. All right, let's go to Job, the 23rd chapter and the first verse. All right, Job, chapter 23 and 1, and it reads, Then Job answered and said, Even today is my complaint bitter. My stroke is heavier than my groaning. Oh, that I knew where I might find him, that I might come even to his seat. Meaning the Most High's seat is up there in the third heaven. That's where his throne is. Job said, I wish I can appear before the Most High's judgment seat. You know? It says, I would know the words which he would answer me. Slakia, verse 4. I will order my cause before him and fill my mouth with arguments. Meaning, man, if I can find the Most High, I would tell him, look, Most High, look, you see what Esau doing to me? Why is he killing me? Why am I oppressed? And I would kind of argue before the Most High. So these spirits up there in the spirit world, they do that, man. They go up. If you were slain unjustly and murdered in your innocence, you have all right to go up there and the Most High make you do it. Go up there to the spirit world and kind of talk to the Most High about what's going on, right? That's why Job said, I will order my cause before him and fill my mouth with arguments. I will know the words which he would answer me and understand what he should say unto me, right? Will he plead against me with his great power? No, but he will put strength in me. Meaning, if you complain before the Lord for being murdered, most are not going to say, why are you complaining? Right? I mean, the righteous judge, they're going to execute judgment. Most are not, he's not going to say, oh, here you go. You always complaining about being murdered, man. Go ahead, go sit down somewhere, man. And the Lord don't operate like that. Remember, he's the God of truth and his way is perfect. So if you're complaining about something being done unjustly, the Most High going to look into it and then execute judgment. Right, reading on Job chapter 23 and 7. There the righteous might dispute with him. So should I be delivered forever from my judge. It says there is a certain location. There the righteous, they dispute. A dispute is kind of an argument, a kind of a debate. They kind of talk to the Most High. Hey, Most High, look, this is what happened to me. You know, and the Most High say, well, look, didn't you do this? And they say, no, look, remember, Lord, look, I was righteous. I did nothing wrong to deserve being lynched, being murdered. And Most High say, okay, I see what happened. Look, I'm going to go execute judgment for you. So there, the righteous, you can dispute before the Lord. Those are things that happen up there in the spirit world only for those that were murdered and they're innocent. those that were killed like Abel, not those that got a death angel sent to you because you blasphemed the Holy Spirit. Hey, go up there and complain before the Most High. The Lord don't want to hear that, man. You're not coming before the judge's seat. Esau didn't even let you do that, man. Certain of these Edomite judges, man, if they know you ain't do nothing wrong, they'll let you kind of get off, man. Get off free. They might let you come up before the bench, man, and the judge might talk to you and say, look, we're going to disannul this case. Case closed. Look, you can go free. But let you be a molester, a child rapist. The judge, he's not going to call you before his seat. And if you complain before him, he don't want to hear that. And those are terrestrial things. All right. But with that, I'm gonna continue in part 4 with the Life After Death series, touching more on examples of regeneration, touching more on other things that happen up there in the third heaven. So with that, Most High willing, everybody was edified. I'm gonna close out and give our honor and glory to Yahweh by Shema Mashiach wa Malak Yahushua. Israel, stay prayed up, stay fasted up. Pray that you are counted worthy to escape all the things that shall come to pass and stand before the Son of Man, as it is written in Luke 21:36. And pray that you can fight the temptation, man. The Lord said the spirit indeed is willing, but the flesh is weak, in Matthew 26:41 on down. So with that, Kwam Yasha'Allah. Shalom.